From the IMTV Wave Channel 5 studio at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library proudly presents Never Stop Serving. And now, your host, Mike Maloney.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our season finale. We are all very excited here at Greenville Senior High School IMTV studios. I'm Mike Maloney for Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library, and again, this is our season finale. We have so much to be thankful for. After we talk to our very distinguished guest here, we're going to get to an awards show afterwards and give thanks to everyone that's helped us. We're in our first year, our inaugural year, and this is our 20th show. If you would have told me a year ago that we'd have 20 shows in the bank of our digital library in our first year, I would have told you you're crazy. And you know me, I have high hopes. But let's get to our guest first. Very distinguished, always a good example. I have a perfect one for our season finale. When I first heard he was a veteran and a superintendent of the school, I really wanted him. Turns out he's a superintendent of 2 schools. Everybody, please welcome Jim Atchley. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show today. Please start out by telling us all about yourself. Don't leave anything out, sir.
There are some things I better leave out.
Tell us where you came from, sir, your parents, your siblings, if you have any, and then your military service, and then we'll talk about what you do now.
Okay. I'm Jim Atchley, the son of James and Susan Atchley. I was a graduate of Bradford High School back in 1981. Probably a lot of our audience doesn't realize, but at that time it was a pretty difficult time to find a job. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I waited 2 years before I actually went to college, and I was able to go to college because I joined the Ohio Army National Guard back at that time, and they had 100% tuition. So I was able to put myself through college. I was fortunate enough, after I graduated, I started teaching here at Greenville High School. I taught 1 year here at Greenville High School, then went to North School. Served as a teacher between North and the junior high then for an additional 6 years. And at that time, I became the assistant principal at Greenville Junior High School. And from there, I went to Missinawah Valley High School for 2 years as high school principal, back to Greenville for 4 years in the central office role. And I've been superintendent at Ansonia for 12 years, and superintendent at Missinawah Valley, I'm just completing my 3rd year. So that's kind of the wrap up of my educational background, but really none of it would have been possible had I not joined the Ohio Army National Guard back in 1983 for the tuition benefits. And you know, I tell a lot of people, even though I served in Desert Storm, I was in the National Guard and my unit got activated. The Guard has given me much more than what I feel I've ever been able to give the military. So I don't think I'd be where I am today. I know I wouldn't be had it not been for the tuition assistance back in 1983.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually remember that. I went in the Army in '84. Same deal. Where did you go in Desert Storm? What did you do?
When I initially enlisted, I was a member of the unit here in Greenville. We were
right out here at the Army?
The Army in Greenville, yeah. I was there for 5 years. Decided to go to OCS, Officer Candidate School. After completing that, then I joined initially it was a 1486 transportation company out of Ashland, Ohio. I was up there for about 9 months and was fortunate enough to get back down this way and join the 1487th in Eaton, and that was the unit that we actually got activated in 1990. I know you mentioned earlier here to Representative Beakey about the Veterans Day program, and my unit got activated Veterans Day 1990. We ended up then being deployed out of Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, January 2nd. So
Fort McCoy, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and we went from record snowfall in Fort McCoy, Wisconsin to the desert there in Actually, it would have been January of '91. So.
Yeah. January '91. Where did you go? Riyadh or? Where?
We ended up going into the port of Dhahran.
Dhahran, okay.
That's where all of our equipment was offloaded, and
Right.
we stayed there. At that time, it was a facility that the Saudi government had actually built for the Bedouins. It was called Khobar Towers, and a lot of military personnel were staying there.
Right.
It was a very nice facility, complex,
Right.
but the Bedouins never moved in, so it was just basically empty facility, and we were able to use it then. And then as the war went on, we moved up to what was called Log Base Charlie, which was pretty close to the Saudi Arabian Iraqi border. So we lived out there for about 6 months in tents, and
Right.
hauled anything from water, rations, food, MREs primarily,
Right.
and also hauled a lot of ammunition and 113, armored personnel carriers and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Super. And Khobar Towers. The only thing I remember the most about Khobar Towers is the elevators.
Yeah.
Don't get on the elevator. It was like it was
Yeah.
like a matchbox with a string.
Yeah, it was
we
much
had all this
easier.
heavy equipment get on there. The elevator. I just remember that the most of Khobar Towers. Don't get on the elevator. You always
Right.
think it's going to break and it'd be some cartoon. Wile E. Coyote. But anyways, you went to OCS. Where did you go to OCS at?
Officer Candidate School, that was actually, we did that at Rickenbacker Air Base here in Columbus, Ohio. So that was about a 18-month program. We went through 2 summer camps, and that was the time at the Guard. They knew there was going to be a shortage of officers coming.
All right, folks, we're back. We just took a quick break because we had to deal with the school bell there. But Jim was just talking to us about OCS, that he was Rickenbacker Air Force.
Rickenbacker Air Force Base in Columbus, Ohio. Back in, I guess it was probably about 84, 85, the Guard knew they were going to be short of officers, so they had a big, what they called a Warrior 2000, so they were trying to get young enlistees to basically go to OCS. So we started out with about a group of 200 the first weekend, and I think we ended up graduating about 50. So, it was a pretty high attrition rate, but fortunately I was able to complete that, and then I went to the 1487th Transportation Unit there in Eaton, Ohio as a second lieutenant, and
Butter bar.
and went over to Saudi Arabia as a second lieutenant.
Oh, that must
and
have been
so
fun.
it was a great experience
it
for
was.
me, though, because I tell you, I learned so much in that 6 months that really benefited me the rest of my military career. I was sitting in briefings with generals that, I was at a site, and General Pagonis, who led the 18th Airborne Corps, was up checking on equipment. I saw so many different people that, really just kind of helped shape who I was, and, you saw those people, and, again, it was a great experience for me, particularly as a second lieutenant, and really, I think it benefited me the rest of my career, by being over there.
Absolutely. And you, what time did you do with the Guard? From when to when?
I actually joined in '83. I retired in 2003.
You retired from the Guard.
Retired from the 371st Corps Support Group in Kettering, Ohio. I retired as a major, and it was one of those things that I was starting to get busy with my career as an administrator. I had 2 young boys. My wife, Elizabeth, and I were married in 1993. I've got a boy, Alec, who will be a senior next year, and my youngest will be a sophomore. They were they actually attend Arcanum.
Oh, all right.
So, and it was one of those deals where I felt like I was starting to miss some of their activities and events, and I knew I could probably make lieutenant colonel, but I was going to have to hold that for 3 years for retirement purposes. I was still going to need to do some additional military training, so I thought, you know what, it's time that I just decided to retire, and it was kind of ironic. We were actually out in National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California, the year before I retired. I went out there for 3 different summer camps. So, and I had a colonel. He said, "Hey, we're going to start this trans battalion. It's going to be up in Akron, Canton area." And I said, "I'm not interested, sir." He said, "You can be the XO." And he said, "You can get promoted." I said, "I'm not interested. I'm retiring." And he was shocked, but I think, you know, at the same time, he respected that decision. So.
Sure. You know, if you're at NTC, that's not a good place to ask anybody in.
No,
if you're at NTC trying to get somebody to continue, that's not the place.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, it was a great experience. You know, I did things I'd never been able to do.
But you're a transportation officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was transportation the entire time. We had, it was basically, it was called a 915 tractor, but it was basically like a commercial tractor trailer. We pulled a 40-foot trailer, and you know, when my unit was in Saudi Arabia, the 60 trucks we went over with our company, we logged about 1 million miles in that 6-month period of time. So, you know, it was, like I said, it was a good experience for me. Bonds, friendships that, you know, I'll never forget. Guys I served with, guys that were in my platoon. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, again, helped shape who I am today.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So let me get this straight. You were an officer in the National Guard, and then you were an educator, teacher, and now you're an administrator, school administrator. So you're a superintendent at one school, and then you're a superintendent at another school. The whole time you're in the National Guard. Is that right?
Well, I got out of the Guard in 2003. So
you got a little break there. Yeah.
I got out of the Guard in 2003. I just basically taken the position at Anson at that time as principal, or superintendent, but I had been serving as a principal in the central office while I was still in the Guard.
But doesn't that say something for you? I hate to make you embarrassed here. Doesn't that say something for you if you're a superintendent at one school and then the other school wants you? Doesn't that mean like you're like almost like superhero grade or something like that?
I wouldn't go that far at all. I'm very fortunate. I work with a lot of great people. I have great administrators at both districts.
See, I'm not even sure how that works, Jim, because you know you're superintendent at one school, and then the other school says, "Hey, if you're not busy enough, will you come be our superintendent?" How does that work?
Well, it was kind of the opportunity. It was one of those things. I wanted the challenge, to be quite honest. See if I could do it. You know, I will be completing my 3rd year at Mississinawa Valley, and I've basically told them my intent is to retire. And I'm hopeful that I'll be back at Ansonia here next year and just back to one district. So.
And make sure I got my stuff right. Mississinawa Valley is Union City, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We're actually next year. This is our number year. Next year we're going to try to link up with Union City.
Okay.
And expand this a little bit. So maybe we'll be bugging you just a bit. We'll see.
Yeah, that would work. You know, and I think the other thing that made it work, the 2 districts are only about 7 miles apart. So, you know, if there would be an issue at one district or the other, I'm pretty close, you know, so I can get there if need be.
Now, they take care of you, though. You're not like the 2-for-1 special or anything, right?
No.
You know? No. It's not like buy one peach, get the other peach free or anything like that.
No, it wasn't that, but I also want to throw out there, my salary did not double when I did both districts either. So, Well,
you know, Jim, that's amazing to me that you served and you continue to serve the community, not just one community, 2. That's just awesome, Jim. Appreciate it. Thank you for never stop serving. What else would you like to share with us?
You know, right now I'm just kind of trying to get through the rest of the school year. You know,
it's almost over.
Well, you know, but we're already hiring for next year. That's the part. May is a very difficult month with all the activities.
Oh, really? So that's like your busy time, May.
May and
peak
June,
time.
yeah. And trying to plan for summer projects. So yeah, this is a pretty busy time of the year. But yeah, we're plugging away there, and we've got some staff already hired and in the process of trying to get other interviews scheduled and set up, and so that's where we are.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again, sir, for being here. We're going to give out some awards. We were hoping you'd give them out for us.
Not a problem.
That'd be all right. I'll talk a little bit about the people, and and then we'll just go from here if you just
Okay.
pass them out for you here. Give us just a second here. Folks, we have so much to be grateful for. And this is our inaugural year, like I've said, and if you would have told me a year ago when we were starting to hatch this plan with Jack Harless and some other people that we're going to talk about here, I would have never guessed that we'd already have 20 videos, 20 veterans in our digital library already. It's a great start. And of course, you know, we're trying to expand this program and get copycats and get people to get other schools and so forth to do this so we can build it exponentially. And also we can link to other schools, we can link to other places like Wright State does the same thing. We can all put it all in the same database and we can all put all that information in there. It's over. What did I say? Do you remember?
You were going on 20th episode.
What?
This is your surprise rock. This is the 20th episode.
Oh, 20th episode,
You were
yes.
expanding.
We're expanding, okay. And with that, the local VFW here in Greenville, this all comes together because this is our 70th anniversary here in just about a week or so. So we're celebrating this all together at the same time. There's going to be a huge celebration for all of this in October. I don't know if I know the date, but it's in October, and it's going to be open to the public there at the VFW. We'll have more information on that on our site later. That's to celebrate the 70th anniversary of that. But let's get on to the awards, and the first person I need to thank is Devin Johnson, and I'm pretty sure IMTV is going to show us, going to show this for us on the screen here. But Devin Johnson, and please keep in mind, the people we're thanking the most are the people that have been here with us since the beginning, you know, since the nucleus of this thing. And it's taken off because we are going to have success. We already have. We already know that. So we're really thanking the people that helped us get there. And Devin Johnson is a friend of mine, and he's a graphic artist and a video editor and so forth. And he started us off. He started off the original videos. So if you go to our videos that talks about the park, who, what, where, when, and why, he edited all that stuff. He created this certificate for us. And got all that stuff together for us. So Devin, thank you very much. Interesting thing about Devin is he's in a major motion picture about Miles Davis. I think it's called Miles Apart. It's coming out here soon. But he's in there, and I teased that, and he's a movie star. So shout out to Devin. The next folks that we want to recognize, they're actually in the studio here with us. At least one of them. There's a couple of them. They're a band over there. And that's the Early Bird newspaper. And the reason I want to specifically acknowledge them is their idea actually started all this. When we were going around here trying to get ideas for this. There you go. There's a picture. That's Keith Fowles. Here, Keith, come back on back here. We're gonna say that's Keith. And when we were trying to figure out how we're going to go about all this stuff, buying equipment and stuff like that. The Early Bird said, well, why don't you just go ask the high school? And you know, we kind of smacked ourselves in the head and said, why don't we ask the high school? And here we are. So big thanks. And they were also a sponsor and a big supporter of us. They're still good advisors to us. Thank you very much, Early Bird. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Keith.
Thank you.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Keith. All right, next one. Some of these folks aren't here, but I want to mention them on air because, again, they were very important at the beginning. Bach the Rock Music, they helped us out with the sound and so forth for a talent show. VFW Post 7262, because, you know, without them, you know, they're our home post, and they've been very supportive of what we're doing, along with the VFW 7262 boosters. And Second National Bank has been, you know, signed on as a long-term partner for us. Now I want to get to the students. This is the meat of the thing, and all the students helped out greatly. But the first student I want to talk about is kind of the leader of the pack, and she's a a senior, so she won't be here next year for our next season. So I'm going to get Tara Eichenberger out here. There we go. Now Tara, well, of course we got a certificate of appreciation for her, but I have something special for Tara. Tara, you know, always was never afraid to tell me what was wrong and what was right about the show, and I really appreciate that input. And one thing she told me is I ran out of small T-shirts from the talent show, so I got her something special, specially made, her own, just made for her, small. There you go. Give me yeah, show that. Make sure the camera gets to see that. There you go. And that T-shirt was made special by the people that helped us out before Sunset Awards. And Doug Shields and Sunset Awards. So nice shout out to them. They've been very supportive of us. All right, Tara, thank you. Next we have Ashley York. Where is she? There you go, Ashley. Thank you very much for your help.
Congratulations, Ashley. Look at the camera there.
Then we have Austin Hayes. Oh, come on, Austin. Get over here. There you go. Yeah, Austin's our cameraman. Great. Good job. I love that. We get the cameraman out from behind there and give him an award. Now, Robert Halls, but I believe he left, right? Yeah. So we'll get that to him. And then Jeremy Toombs. Jeremy here? All right. All right, thank you, Jeremy, for everything you've done. Thank you very much. All right, and then we got a very special thank you for what I think, and I brag about this all the time. When we started this, you know, we started putting this stuff on YouTube and you know, Access Channel 5. YouTube, if you don't know this, if you put any song or anything like that or anything that's copyrighted on there, you'll be able to show your video, but you're not going to be able to do anything with it. They take control of it because you have copyrighted information on there. I was complaining to Lori Hoover, our IMT faculty, about it, and I said, you know what, we need an original song, so when we play these things, it's ours. And guess what? Guess what they did? The IMTV folks are juniors, so they'll be back next year, so we'll be able to improve this song. Jacob Beakey, come on out here. Thank you very much, Jacob, for the song. Awesome. Awesome, Jacob. And then Jacob and then Mac Houston, they actually credit us on Mac. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. That is just awesome. It's an awesome song. And then the voice of the song is Victoria Lucy. Come out here, Victoria. Thank you very much for lending us your voice. Beautiful voice. So basically, they created us an original song, and you can hear it at the beginning of every episode. It's just fantastic. It makes me very proud that they did that. Further Thanksgiving, we want to talk about just a couple other people that aren't here. My friend Rob Jones, he's the host of our talent show. George Weimer, who's our voice. If you hear our voice, our announcement voice. He's lended us her voice. I also want to thank my brother in Vegas. He set up a couple shows there in Vegas for us to complete. Where else? What else do we have here? Oh, and to my roadies there at the talent show, Scott Keys and Robbie Grime. Hope they'll help us again this year. And I'm sure I missed people, but anybody that helped with this, that helped us progress a bit, we sure do appreciate it. And we'll continue to show our appreciation as we go. We really got something going here. We've got the ability to record veterans and their stories, their important stories. In that, we actually create primary historical sources. You know, the veterans say it from their own mouths. We're creating sources that can be looked at later, 100 years, 20 years later. Also can be looked at by, you know, your relatives, you know, long after you're gone. It's just fantastic stuff. And then, you know, that since we're doing it here, the students get to learn. And that's a fantastic thing. They get to learn how to produce this stuff. We get to learn how to work this stuff. It's just a great program. I'm very proud of it, very grateful. The first part of this is complete. This completes our year with this. This is pretty much what we called Operation Reach Out. So in other words, we're reaching out to people trying to build partnerships. And we were pretty successful. The Early Bird, we've partnership with Union City, we're working on that. And we've continued some other partnerships. Some other things that we want to work on, again, we're going to expand next year with some local schools around here, see if we can't do some remote stuff and some other stuff. And it's very important to us and very important to our program that we're able to go remotely and get out to, like the assisted living, and get out to you know, nursing homes and places like that, because that's where the veterans that we're losing at a quick rate are. And if we get out there, entertain them, and get a little outreach to them, perhaps we can get their stories. Because that's what it's out. It's all about capturing these stories and capturing these artifacts before they all go away. So we're changing from Operation Reach Out, which was very successful, to Operation Outreach. So now we've got the stuff we need. Next year we're just going to work on publicizing to get as many veterans as we can in there. With that, I can tell you our long-term plan for next year is we want to have a little station at the fair, the Great Dark County Fair, on Veterans Day. Publicize it so we can, you know, possibly veterans in Dark County can come there and share their stories at the Veterans Building at the fair. That's one of the things we want to do. We also are planning on something very special for Veterans Day here at the school on November 11th. So that's up and coming. Also up and coming, if you haven't seen, and hopefully I get a graphic up here, there's a 5K walk for veterans that the DAR is doing and so forth. The 21st of May, you might want to check out and help out with that. And also there's a poker run in July that the VFW is running. Whiskey Business will be there. I've heard they're good. I haven't seen them yet. So you can help them out. Again, we'll put that graphic up also. Besides that, I'm going to wrap up the show with a great thanks to everyone. It'd be difficult on behalf of our chairman, Jack Harless, and my other trusted advisors like Don Dietrich and so forth. We thank everyone for all the love and support you've given us. I want to give one last shout out to someone. Where is she? Is she coming out? Yeah. Is Mrs. Lori Hoover there? I don't have an award for her because she signed them all. So, Lori, I just wanted to thank you and thank you for our partnership. We've got a great thing going there, and none of this would have been possible without her. All right. And that's it, folks. Episodes 20 is in the books. If you're not here, I'm sorry, because now we're going to go eat donuts, all right? You all have a great summer, and be looking for us. Stay with us on our pages. Thank you.